Making sure the company stays viable for the families that rely on the jobs and work here, and for the industry that relies on us for their environmental needs. It's a very important business to be in, and we take it very seriously.
Welcome to episode 64 of the LoraineCounty.com Insights Podcast. I'm your host, Ed Skimmon. I'm proud to begin with a thank you to the LoraineCounty.com champion sponsors who support this and many community projects. Loraine County Commissioners, Emerge Inc., WOBL Radio, Community Foundation of Loraine County, Loraine County JVS, and Loraine County Community College. Today, we're talking with Bill Cromling, co-chair of the board and one of the owners of Ross Environmental Services. Join us as Bill talks about the company's leadership in the destruction and incineration of industrial waste, its evolution since 1949, and its unwavering commitment to safety, compliance, and community involvement. He also shares personal stories from his journey with the company, insights into industry trends, and the importance of skilled trades in today's economy. I first became familiar with Ross Environmental more than 20 years ago while working with the Loraine County Chamber of Commerce, and I had the privilege of attending the 2003 grand opening of their Elyria headquarters. Ross Environmental plays a significant role in strengthening our community. In addition to being a major employer, the company and its foundation have made substantial contributions to organizations such as Midview Schools, Blessing House, Good Nights, the Loraine County Fairgrounds, and many others. All of Loraine County benefits from strong, successful, and engaged companies like Ross Environmental. Here is my conversation with Bill Cromling.
I'm William Cromling. I'm co-chair of the board, one of the owners of the company, Ross Environmental Services.
Well, welcome, Bill. Thanks for joining us and sharing your insights. Could you provide an overview of Ross Environmental and your role with the company?
Well, we specialize in the destruction and incineration of industrial waste materials. We have transportation that hauls the waste. We provide community relations, sales, customer service, human resources, purchasing, marketing, information services, and regulatory assistance to other companies and to customers.
Who are your primary customers?
Our primary customers, they come from everywhere. They're manufacturers of product. There are other companies that collect waste from them, and they come to us for the end disposal. So it comes from everything.
And is it specialized disposal or anything disposal?
It is specialized. Incineration is a very specialized system. It takes a lot of really smart people that know what they're doing and to be able to safely and compliantly manage the materials that come in.
And is there, I'm assuming, different techniques for different type of waste?
There are. Incineration is probably the last resort for most people. There are other treatment technologies that are available to them, but incineration is the last and final thing that people can come to. So it is pretty specialized, yeah.
Who are your competitors and how do you differentiate Ross?
Our biggest competitors are Clean Harbors, Veolia, Heritage Environmental. I think they're called Arcwood now, but they're huge, publicly traded, $4 billion a year type organizations. We are the only family-held single facility incineration company in the country.
And your customers come from anywhere in the country?
All 48 states, okay. Puerto Rico, Canada.
So Ross has been in business since 1949. How has the company evolved over those years? And where did it start?
On the family farm in Eaton Township. It has evolved tremendously. There were no rules or regulations or anything in 1949. It was just an idea that my grandfather had that he could do better than dumping stuff at the Ford Road dump and into the Black River. He thought burning it would be a better way because it reduced the volume. And so that was his idea.
What do you see as the biggest industry trends or innovation shaping your work right now?
There's a lot of consolidation going on in the industry. At one time, there were probably maybe 20 different places that had incineration, commercial incinerators. That's not the case anymore. There's only 6 in the U.S. now, maybe 7. So that's been a big change, is the consolidation in the market.
What do you see as Ross's biggest challenges and how are you adapting to meet these changes?
Maintaining our relevance in the market and being competitive in this market, because we are a small fish in a big pond, I guess, or a small fish in a really small pond, but making sure that we do things the right way and serve our customers very well, keep our associates safe, do things compliantly. Those are the things that we have to do.
In general, do you have lots of different customers or a small number of big customers?
We have a lot of customers. Of course, every business, they have their top 5 or 10. That's where most of the work comes from. But we have customers that have very small volumes as well.
What do you see as the biggest opportunities for Ross?
Continuing our reputation for doing things the right way, doing them well, being creative to meet customers' needs. We sometimes run into customers that have something that nobody else knows how to deal with. And because we do have so many really smart people, good people that are creative and can find ways to safely and compliantly manage some of these more difficult wastes, I think that it gives us a unique advantage.
I'm sure no day is a typical day, but in general, what does your day look like?
A lot different now than it did when I started. I spent the majority of my career in transportation part of the business. And so I was working in the business. Now it's working on the business. So not here, don't have to be here all the time, which is a little different. But I'm always thinking about the business, what we are doing and how we can do it better and, be a good steward for the environment and for the community.
How do you define success at Ross? What metrics and outcomes are important to you and your team?
Being safe, compliant, taking care of our people. If we can do those things every day, then I think we've been successful. That's the biggest thing we ask for.
I know Ross is very involved and generous and giving back to the community. Why is this important?
We live here. My mom, my dad, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, a lot of people that work for us live in the community. It's important to support the things that are in the community. We've been blessed to be able to do the things that we can do, whether it's supporting the schools or the metro parks or Save Our Children or any of the number of different organizations that we help through the Ross Foundation. It's important to give back.
What's something people don't normally know about Ross that you'd want them to know?
I would say my grandfather built arguably the first hazardous waste incinerator in the United States. Nobody really appreciates or understands that a guy with a ninth grade education, just with his innate engineering ability, and was able to do that just on the family farm.
Let's switch over and talk a little bit about you. What's your background? I know you said you started working in the business before leading the company. What led you to your current role?
Went to college for a year. That was not my cup of tea. Joined the U.S. Army, spent 4 years in there. Very valuable education there, learned a lot. But came to here in 92, officially started in 92. We grew up next door to the plant, so we were always around. My grandparents lived there, my great-grandmother. We were always in or around the facility all the time. We rode our bikes back through there, all that stuff. But came back in 92, started as a mechanic in the truck garage, drove truck, did whatever I was asked to do. I ran the shop. And in 2006, my dad decided he had enough of running transportation. He threw me the keys and didn't come back. It was sink or swim for me. So was able to run transportation for a long time. Got involved with sitting in the boardroom just as a observer and listener and kind of learning how this part of the business worked. And of course, my mom ended up getting sick and had to step down and ultimately passed away. But then John and I took the reins from there.
In the time you've been with the company, what are you most proud of accomplishing?
Maintaining the safety culture. It's so important. I've known so many of these people that work for us for some 30 plus years. That's an important accomplishment.
What would you still like to accomplish?
Making sure the company stays viable for the families that rely on the jobs and the work here, and for the industry that relies on us for their environmental needs. It's a very important business to be in, and we take it very seriously.
How would you describe your leadership style? What principles shaped how you lead, and who has influenced your leadership style the most?
Probably influenced mostly by my dad, who worked for my grandpa Ross, who was loud and boisterous and liked to yell and pound his fist a lot when he got angry. My dad never liked that. He said I would not be that, and he wasn't, and either as a father or as my boss. So I always talk to people and find out what makes them work so that you can find the best way to communicate with them.
Do you have any advice for aspiring business leaders or entrepreneurs?
My grandpa was told a long time ago, he said, find your niche. And when you do, don't be afraid to go for it.
How about advice for Lorraine County economic development leaders? As a major employer in the county, what could economic development leaders focus on, like workforce, infrastructure, incentives, quality of life amenities, to attract and grow jobs?
The skilled trades are in high demand. We have a hard time finding those kinds of people. And there's just not enough emphasis on that, I think, in the schools, whether it's JVS or at any of the local school districts. We've gotten rid of FFA and Welding Shop and all those kinds of things over there. So people need to learn the trades. We have a dire need for those kinds of people.
And AI is not going to take those jobs.
No, they can't. And, we're a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week outdoor facility. So it's not the easiest environment to work in, but you still got to have people that can do those jobs, want to do those jobs. Everybody can't work at Amazon.
Outside of work, what are your hobbies and interests, and how do they help recharge you?
I'm a big Browns and Buckeyes fan, so weekends are full of football. I enjoy that a lot. Auto racing of all sorts, shapes and sizes. We happen to be sponsoring a race car right now in the NHRA Mountain Motor Pro Stock Series. So we've had a chance to travel a couple places to watch them race, so that's been a lot of fun. I just really enjoy that, and my wife enjoys it with me. So we just have a good time, and I come back to work, and I'm feeling pretty good about what's next.
Finally, where can people go to get more information about Ross and connect with you?
www.rossenvironmental.com. You can go there and find all kinds of things about the company.
Thanks, Bill, for joining us and sharing your insights.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to the LoraineCounty.com Insights Podcast. Each episode, we share conversations with the people shaping life in Lorain County, from business and government to education, nonprofits, healthcare, and entertainment. Be sure to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. You can also visit LoraineCounty.com to discover local events, volunteer opportunities, and more community resources. If you know someone who's making a difference in Lorain County, send us a note at podcast@LoraineCounty.com. We would love to share their story and insights. Special thanks to our producer, Leah Gerke, and to you for listening. This has been the LoraineCounty.com Insights Podcast, conversations with the people shaping Lorain County.